The things that you have in your heart that you think are impossible are often just milestones waiting to get accomplished if you can push those limits. Everything was impossible until somebody else did it. So you can either hang around people that tell you it can't be done, or hang around those that inspire possibilities. Welcome to the Inspiring Possibilities Podcast. Weekly interviews with entrepreneurs, artists, those that inspire possibilities. And I'm your host, Julian Marion.
All right. So yesterday was my birthday. 37 years young. It was amazing. I had a great time with my beautiful queen and wife. And yeah, man, it was amazing. And thank you so much for everybody for the wishes. And yeah, so I just wanted to quickly do a quick little episode saying thank you for all the kind words that people have been sending, and also kind of sharing a little something right at 37. So my first one is the weekend before my birthday, I went to a conference called King Conference, and the King Conference, and it was just amazing what I did there. Like, I shared 4 concepts: men, warrior, king, free men. And, and I explained how everybody wants to be a king, but not every king is a free man, right? Because kings are sometimes just in shackles, in bondage in different aspects of their life, whether it's their body or their relationship with their spouse or kids, or their work, can never be off, or just, their connection to their creator. Right? Like feeling like I'm doing something, but I don't feel like this is what I'm called to do. I'm just in autopilot, right? Just autopilot, constantly moving forward, but I have no purpose, right? So what that does is that creates a space where men hit burnout, right? That's just a fact. Whenever you go in and you're in bondage in different aspects of your life, the more things are demanded of you, right? Like, as men, we're demanded to do 2 things initially, right? We want you to protect, and we want you to provide, right? Protect and provide, right? But then also you have to be able to empathize, right? We talk about that inside of the other episodes where we talked about toxic masculinity and healthy masculinity, right? Where the healthy masculinity has this higher level of empathy that is used, and a higher level of emotional intelligence, EQ. And so, you're at that place where all this is asked of you, but you don't know how to communicate your frustration, communicate your feelings. Matter of fact, like most guys, don't always know what they feel. They know what they're thinking, but they don't always know what they feel, right? Because it's not something that is just natural, right? To express like your feelings. You can express your thoughts, but your feelings are just a little bit different, right? And so whenever you go into kind of that journey of life, as a guy, is as you're growing in your career, growing in your in your marriage, having more kids or kids in general, there starts to be a different level of stress, right? And oftentimes, guys will suffer in silence for a very long time, right? I think women will go and, to one of her friends and might just say, hey, this is how I feel, and just like open up and share. But guys would just really stay in the pain for as long as it's needed, or as long as they believe this is it. I don't want to continue, right? And inside of my talk, I shared three kings, right? Like, I shared Robin Williams, how he did everything that he did, but still, was not happy, so decided to take his life. I share one of my model inside of like the dance world, Twitch, right? Same thing, decided to take his life because, he was in bondage and, high level of anxiety and depression. Matter of fact, did you know that 1 in 5 guys suffer from severe anxiety and depression? Like, that's a big one. So if you look at guys, like, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this one, right? And then eventually I went to my man Kobe, and how Kobe, when you look at Kobe number 8 versus Kobe number 24, right? Kobe number 8 with the afro, the goatee, and then Kobe 24, without the afro, without the goatee. But how he had to get exposed, right? Like that was a time where, when Kobe had that big shift was when he exposed himself, right? When the thing happened in Denver, and and then he got on television with his wife Vanessa, and just apologized to her and explained, like, I didn't rape this girl, this lady, but I did commit adultery to my wife, and I apologize. And so he did that in front of like so many people, knowing that people are going to judge him for saying that, right? But he did it anyway because he knows that he needed to be exposed. I mean, obviously he got exposed because he got caught, but he exposed himself to the world, where he could have kept that a private conversation. No, he went there and opened up and went vulnerable, right? And then he became a free man at that point, right? Where there's nothing that he was hiding anymore, right? Because the most powerful man in the room is the one that has nothing to hide, right? Because there's nothing that you can find on me that you're not going to see out there already, right? Almost that that movie 8 Miles with Eminem, right? When he's at the end of the movie and he's rapping and he says everything that the other guy will say, right? It's like a battle, right? Rap battle. He says everything that the other guy could say about him, right? And when it's the guy's turn to diss him, he doesn't know what to say because the guy has already said everything, right? So it's almost that same principle. If you are willing to expose yourself and live in your truth without lies, then you're a free man, right? So it's kind of like, if you think of it like freedom, like you have to think of it in terms of like, what does freedom mean to you, right? So if you think of freedom inside of your body, what does that mean, right? For some, it might mean like, hey, I can run a marathon and being fine. Some is, hey, I can just play with my kids when they come back from school until they're tired, without having to sit down or without having my knees hurting. For some is, hey, I'm able to mow the lawn and not be gone for like 2 days, having to recuperate, right? And so if you can't do whatever it is that you consider this is freedom for me inside of my body, then guess what? You are in bondage inside of your body because you're just not at that level, right? And everything else you're going to say to justify it is just a lie, because deep inside you know that you want to have freedom inside of your body, but you don't have it because of whatever the reason, right? And then same thing inside of like your relationship with your creator and what you feel called to do, right? If you cannot say that what you're currently doing equals freedom to you, meaning that this is what you feel called to do, this is what, brings you fulfillment, right? Then guess what? You're in bondage there. And you need to be able to figure out a way to get out of it so you can be in freedom, or just stay there. Like whatever your truth is, right? I would obviously encourage you to seek freedom in your body, in your relationship with your kids and wife, in your relationship with your creators and what you're called to do, and in your relationship with your work, your business, and if you're an athlete, with your sport, right? Like whatever that is, like find freedom there so that you can be a free man, right? Or somebody said it, a man of God, right? Like a free man. And so anyway, so that was the talk. And in my 37 years, of life, that is something that I eventually got to be able to get to that place of like, feel like a free man. Like I'm going to be exposed, and I'm gonna live with no secret. Like you're going to know my insecurities. You're going to know that my white friends told me that I was black. My black friends told me that I was white. You're going to know that, that whenever I was younger, I always had this feeling of feeling less than, right? Like I've shared all that stuff that I had never shared before because of whatever will come out of it, right? The judgment or the, just the perception that people will have. But understanding that a man that lives in freedom doesn't care about what the rest of the world will say, because that's his freedom, that's his truth. So if you're that man that is still kind of in bondage in different aspects of your life, or if you're that man that is stuck right now, and you start to feel burnout, meaning things are moving so fast and you don't know how to control it or what to do, and you've tried prayers and it's just not working, and currently you're just sedating, with whatever that is, right? Like alcohol, those websites, right? Like overly, exercising, overly doing martial arts, whatever, the over is, like whatever that is sedating, that you're using to help you just navigate, right? I created free training on outofburnout.com. So it's outofburnout.com. And that can give you an opportunity to go through it. It's really quick. It's only about 45 minutes or so. And that should open up and bring you some relief. All right. But it was so nice to be in your ears, you guys. And next episode is amazing. It's with my book writing coach, Coach Kevin L. Knox, and he's going to come in and he's going to share his journey a little bit, as well as some of the big pitfalls that people have when writing a book. All right, so I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.